She went from backing vocals on the Tiny Desk, yes, that super viral Ca7riel and Paco Amoroso Tiny Desk, to shaping the future of global alternative pop. Multicultural, fearless, and dripping in style, Nina J is not just next, she's now.
Hi everyone, my name is Deli, and if you're subscribed, that's wonderful.
Yeah!
Thank you. I love that. Today, I'm really pleased and I'm shaking like this is a dream come true. So I have with me a super talented woman. She was born in Switzerland, but she's from Brazilian parents and she studied at Berklee College of School. So she's like super multicultural. But the most important thing is that she's very talented. Everything that she is expressing on her art is amazing. She's right now based in Miami. People confuse her with Dua Lipa.
Bueno, y había una jeva que estaba vestida como... Bueno, se parecía mucho a Dua Lipa. Vi en los comentarios que...
Sí, no, atrás nuestro, ¿no?
It's because she's so beautiful, so talented, and obviously Dua Lipa is, wow, massive. And hopefully one day you're gonna be same as big or even bigger than her. That I can see that on your future. Can we welcome, please, to Nina J.
Hi, my name is Nina J. I'm a singer-songwriter with Brazilian. I grew up in Switzerland, but my parents are Brazilian. I studied at Berklee College of Music, and I am now in Miami working on my music. I've been here for about a year and a half, and lately I had a fantastic opportunity to do background vocals for Ca7riel and Paco's viral Tiny Desk that now has hit, I believe, 27 million or 28 million views.
28.
I checked yesterday and it's actually top 18 Tiny Desks of all time. And this opened a lot of doors for me. I also, following that, sang background vocals for Trueno and Fade on their song Cruz, which became top 1 in Colombia. Also working on a lot of collaborations with different artists and DJs. And my big mission is to incorporate Brazil and Portuguese in the mainstream American pop world. Maybe not necessarily full on, but because my kind of music is more on, let's say, dark alternative pop. But I always try, and mostly in English, but I always try to incorporate some kind of Portuguese or some kind of Spanish, and also some Brazilian funk or Latin urban influences, which are also a big part of my musical journey. My background. So yes, and I try to work in all the languages I speak, which is English, Portuguese, French, and Spanish.
Easy to say. Okay, let me stop you there. So I know that you learn Spanish in a funny way, let's call it that way. If you want to know, you need to learn Spanish and you need to go to the other interviews. That she has a few interviews in different radios in Venezuela and Argentina, so go and check them. But I'm not gonna say that because I don't care about the past. I just care that you speak Spanish really Venezuelan. I love the way that you say pues, o sea, pues.
Mis raíces, pues. Pero como nací, o sea, crecí cantando.
What? I was like...
I just learned that way, so... I mean, I learned by ear, so... Very conversational Spanish.
First time I heard your Spanish, you shared one of the behind-the-scenes videos about the rehearsals, and you were talking, and I heard, that's Venezuelan? What's that? It was like, but she's Brazilian, but she's from Switzerland. Where is? And when I found out, I was like, She's recognized around the world because of the viral Tiny Desk with Ca7riel and Paco Amoroso. Paco Amoroso. It's so funny to say it that way. She's in this channel now because of the series of Ca7riel and Paco Amoroso that we're doing at the moment. They are visiting the UK right now. And if you want to know more or to learn more about them, obviously check the Tiny Desk and you can find this beautiful lady there. She has a super fun t-shirt that is Ca7riel face. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
with the chat effect.
With the chat effect, which is really tied with what they have right now, which is called Papota. And we're going to talk about that later, maybe. But this particular interview is just to talk about the important person that we have today, which is Nina. So we were talking earlier that she studied at Berklee College of Music and is really linked and connected because it was founded in 1945. It had 246 Grammys, top contemporary music studios of jazz in America. And obviously that's really linked to that tiny desk. It's funny the story that you always mention that actually the producers called a friend of yours and that person, she couldn't, so you stepped in. Tell me, how did you feel at that time and how do you feel now with that situation? Obviously, the Tiny Desk project has a little bit of jazz and is quite intense. Exactly. So obviously that's really linked to your study, to what you study, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, how do you connect that?
Well, it used to be a jazz institute and later developed into a contemporary music school. So today there's everything, pop, rock, R&B, whatever, but it does have a lot of jazz roots. In our classes, we study mostly, at first at least, jazz theory as opposed to classical theory. I had to later study a little bit more classical theory based on my major, which was contemporary writing and production. But it's mostly all based in jazz, the harmonies, the theory, and the ear training. We also had like a lot of ensemble classes, which was basically like playing in group, just like a band. But we had different genres. Some of them were mandatory, other you could choose. Later on, I did switch my major to performance, so I had to a lot of those, and I did a lot of Motown ensembles, which obviously embodied all of the story of jazz, soul, all into one. I think it really, really prepared me because not only had I gotten really used to these kinds of sonorities, but these kinds of vocal arrangements, just being really presented with a lot of jazz sonorities. I also did a lot of bossa nova and Brazilian music, which obviously is also rooted in jazz, and also being Brazilian, I grew up listening to it. I think all of this really helped, but mostly the discipline and like understanding how to deliver, especially for these kinds of songs, because some of the arrangements can be a little bit more intricate or have different time signatures or have weird like vocal interjections in the middle, like for example in the Bad Bitch, where it was just like was going on a little bit everywhere, and it was just fantastic training to be able to learn fast, because these kinds of arrangements can be really intricate, and we did have a lot of time to learn the arrangements for the Tiny Desk. Not only that, but the day before, which was the only time we managed to rehearse with the artists, they changed stuff
On the day before.
Yeah.
I had to like unlearn what I had already learned, and it's very hard. I mean, it's just confusing to do that because it's like the sound is printed in your head, and when someone told you not to do it, you do something else instead. And while you're still learning, you don't know which one you did right or which one you did.
And with multiple language in your brain.
Yeah, but it was like very stressful because obviously Tiny Desk is a really big deal, and it's not my project, their project. Now it's holding to, do a job that I wanted to deliver. And so it's like the stress of having something so big happening, and also not wanting to screw up in someone else's project, and just having to do everything in such little time was, I thank my Berklee education for that, because really it prepared me to handle these kinds of things, especially under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So
I can say, because especially you mentioned in many interviews that you had to study by yourself. I mean, you received the, how do you say, like the demos, you received the demos, and then you had to learn from that, and you created, you share what you wanted to do, because obviously they don't know you exactly. Yes, you are selected, let's say, but they don't. I don't know exactly how is that the process to develop this music, but basically you have to share what you have to do.
No, actually, there were 3 musical directors on the project.
Wow.
2 of which were here in the US. It was them who invited me on the project, and they were the vocal arrangers. So they were doing the vocal arrangements, which for once for me was nice. I didn't have to do it. I just had to learn what was given to me. I didn't have to create harmonies myself. But every day it was changing, because I may have received 10 demos. And my demos, I mean recordings of the rehearsal that the guys were doing, because they were touring all over Latin America. And I think, from what I understood, they only had like 2 weeks. And it was, I think they did rehearsal during the day, and then that night they had shows in the different country every day. So they were recordings of the rehearsals, and then the arrangers were singing on top of them to like create the harmonies as their rehearsals were progressing, and they were changing, and they were exploring and testing different options. When I listened to the version, I listened the other day for fun, and first version is so different from the final result. But obviously, it's because sometimes you don't know what you can do with a song, and obviously, since the songs were so much more electronic based, the production was more and was more digital. Very hard to bring it to an authentic and acoustic version. So they were just testing a lot of options to see how it would translate not the song only, but their essence as musicians.
Are you happy with that?
No, it was so beautiful. It was the best version they could have done. And very honestly, between all the rehearsals, between everything, and also right before the taping, we had 2 run-throughs, but those were like sound checks, because the engineers had to test, obviously, the mics were on, if the positions were fine and picking up on the sound correctly. But we just like went through the songs twice. The taped version, which is obviously only 1 shot, was the best one. It was the best of everything we had done. So like we were really, really happy. We're so in the US.
Yeah, exactly.
God, it's just, oh my God. No one made a mistake. No one. Everyone's like spotless.
No, I think that is because all of you were really, really talented. And obviously, the way that Ca7riel and even Paco, they were directing you, and all the other 3 directors that you mentioned, I think that they did a great job. I'm pretty sure they did a great job. Talking a little bit more about you, you know what is really funny? I'm a marketer, and there is a strategic model to create campaigns and to design campaigns, which is called SOSTAC model. And in the SOSTAC model, you have situation analysis, objective, strategy, tactic, and control and measure. So one of the strategies is pull and push. You have a song that is called Push and Pull. Can you tell me where is the name coming from? Why do you call it like that's the strategy that we use to marketing? Did you know that?
No, I don't know.
That's marketing language. So this is so funny. So marketing, funny. Pure marketing language.
It's so funny. No, I think there's also an expression, push and pull, which is just when you. It's like a dynamic between a relationship. No, not even necessarily only romantic. You know, you're mad at someone, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna talk, and then the other person comes to you, and like this kind of push and pull game between dynamics between 2 people. So the song was based on a situationship. One was always pulling the other, and the strength of dynamics. It was like a dynamic game, was always changing. One was changing, the other one was pulling. And from it actually came to me in a dream. I dreamt the chorus.
I heard it in a dream, and I woke up and I recorded it.
Wow, and it's because you are a writer, don't you? How do you call that? Like author?
Songwriter.
Music author? Songwriter. Okay, can you tell me, I don't know, how do you feel writing? What do you prefer? Do you prefer kind of singing this kind of amazing music that you're doing? Do you prefer maybe writing? You mentioned in other interviews that you like writing for other artists because you find yourself in a place where you can create things that you will never do for yourself, which is different and you like it. It's like experimentation. Tell me, what do you prefer and why?
Well, my first love has always been and will always be singing. So I'm going to say singing. And I'm very lucky that things happen the way that they did, because a lot of people take the songwriter route where they start to write songs for other artists, and eventually they meet a lot of people in the industry as they get more known as artists themselves, and eventually launch their artist career, which was what I was trying to do. Well, but it just so happened that things happened otherwise, and I got called on to do Tiny Desk, and I did background for that, then I did backgrounds for Faith, and then other people started noticing me and calling me in for collaborations, for fantastic. And writing came later in my life. It actually started at Berklee, not because I didn't really study it. I just started doing it, and I realized that was good. It depends. I think it depends on the song, on who I'm writing with. I feel like nowadays I prefer writing with friends, or sometimes you never know. Sometimes you might meet the person on the day of, and the connection is incredible, and you just bang out a song, and it's fantastic. I recently wrote with a big French artist, and that was fantastic. I was very, very happy with the song, and I was really happy to be able to do something in French in my mother tongue. I think my first love really always be singing, but I love to also be able to write, as you said, for other artists, so that I can experiment and do things that I wouldn't necessarily write myself. I love pop, so like I don't necessarily see myself singing like really bubblegum pop. I love writing it. And
yeah, you mentioned that your favorite artist at the moment, which one it is? It's a lady. You call her the new Britney?
Oh, Tate McRae. I like her a lot. Yeah, I love her. I love her. I'm not the only one saying that. Yeah, because she's bringing back early 2000 sounds, like what Britney would do, what Nelly Furtado would do. I mean, I grew up on that, on the singer, so it's great to see that coming back. And Timbaland, all those fantastic producers.
Well, I'm more like I prefer like rock, but I love your voice, so yeah, I can follow you. Whatever you're doing, I will follow whatever you're doing. So what impressed me the most about Push and Pull is that you can combine your Brazilian background on that song in between. Like it's so soft that you even realize. I know that because, well, obviously it's another language, but it's so soft. And because I'm Venezuelan, I understood everything that you were saying, because you mentioned before, and actually it is. Venezuelan, Spanish and Brazilian are really, Spanish and Portuguese, are really similar. So yeah, I know what you were saying, but I don't know, the combination, the way that you mix everything was really, really soft, and it was beautiful. The sound is beautiful. Can you tell me a bit about that you did there?
Yes. Well, actually, that's my goal, because and I'm really happy with how the industry is developing right now. How everyone's doing different collaborations with artists from all over the world and mixing cultures. But I was just thinking, if I'm doing it myself, like if I'm singing different languages, if I'm the one mixing things, the way I do it needs to be really seamless. Like the transition needs to be coherent. You can't really have like an abrupt cut, or that's gonna sound just weird or like a little bit out of place. And like as I mentioned, what I do is more like, let's say, alternative dark pop, but I do want to let go either of one of the things I wanted to integrate, so I really had to find a way to make it to combine them in a smooth way.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I love it. And the visualizer is really nice. I love it. How do you feel recording that, filming that?
Good. Yeah, I kind of directed it. I did the artistic direction, and I also edited the video. So
So I had like
Really, did you?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
multi-talented. I'm scared
And,
now. What other talents do you have?
I edited the other one, the some kind of white one and the blue one. But yeah, I don't know, the song, the push and pull, I just for some reason when I hear it, I just see a lot of orange. So I just really wanted to bring that into the video. So because of the dynamic of the lyrics, pushing and pulling, I imagine it's a rope with like two people, kind of like a tug of war. So that's why I did that whole theme about the rope. And I just wanted something a little bit distressed. So that's why I also chose this dress, kind of not ripped, but just kind of falling like that. I thought that it matched the vibe of the song well.
I think that you can sell it to Caribbean pirates. It's Caribbean, isn't it? So probably you can say like, yeah, I have this. You can use it for your film, and you can get money out of that.
Oh, yeah.
The first video that you posted on your YouTube channel, was that in French, isn't it?
That's not even my first one. I have so many videos that I deleted or that are hidden. Probably the oldest one that's still available. I think it's a cover, no?
Oh, Ca7riel
With
Paco
the-
Amoroso. That's the first one, and then that's the first one, and then you have the one that is bilingual, that you were doing
yeah.
the cover.
Oh yeah.
Shy Notif. Is that the one that you just mentioned?
Yeah, so that's what I thought you mentioned. But the first one, the Ca7riel Paco, though, that's a cover. So by a Brazilian artist legend called Chico, and it was later on also covered by a French artist called Ninguém. And I decided to combine the two.
Wow. Yeah, the first time I heard that, I was like, I know this song. What? Three different languages in my brain. What is happening? Well, I don't know anything about French, to be honest, but it's brilliant the way that you can combine everything that you take all your power and you combine it and you create this amazing artwork. So it's beautiful what you're doing. Do you want to keep doing things like this with multiple languages? How do you find it in the industry that is telling you have to do everything in English, as Paco and Ca7riel mentioned, I think?
I don't think it's necessarily all in English, but a lot of people in the industry the executives, they might want you to focus on one specific language or one specific market, so then it doesn't get really confusing. But I think exactly Paco and Ca7riel are just showing that what you have to do is be authentic. And it's something that it's funny because it completely aligns with what I've been feeling, because I've been doing music for a while, and I was younger, so didn't really know exactly what I liked, what I didn't like. And the moment I realized what I like, after so long of having been told what to sing, what not to sing, I was like, I'm gonna do what I like, and whoever follows, great. And if they don't like it, then it's not the right fit. That's fine. Because especially now that the industry is opening up and there are so many artists collaborating, doing international collaborations, or even artists like Meetup or sing three languages, or even artists like Kanyuchis that does stuff in English and in Spanish. I don't see why I should choose, because especially if there are artists being asked to for example, learn English, for example, how Paco and Ca7riel are making fun of the industry because they're saying how they're now being forced to talk in English, to sing in English and all that. It would be crazy for someone to tell me to choose when I already know how to do all of them. So I'm not gonna stop doing what I know how to do. But I do believe that an artist needs to have like a constant brand some kind of constants for not to be too confusing. So I believe that the songs that I'm releasing, my sound, really the sound texture, the sound palette that I choose. I also produce a lot of extended production. I'm always involved in my production. I feel like I have found a way to keep my style very coherent, that style of music, so that it allows me to have fun with the languages. For example, my next song is actually fully in Portuguese, but the sound completely aligns with
everything.
Is this a
that I've
scoop?
released.
Sorry?
Is this a scoop?
Is it a scoop? Maybe it is. Yeah. On April 4th it's coming out. Yeah. It's called Ninguém, Precisa, Saber, which means no one needs to know.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
I like it. You have even a Spanish song on your YouTube channel. I love it. It's
Which
like
one?
a. Let me see.
Otra
which one
noche
it was.
contigo?
That one, yes. I was like, ooh, this is hot. Is there a story behind that?
No, actually, that one, so it's funny that the song that I'm gonna release now on April 4th, it's the same producer. But the song, completely different. So actually, that song was written and produced by my friend, Ca7riel, who's an Ecuadorian producer and songwriter. She produced and wrote for Ca7riel, Berklee, Titana, and a lot of other big artists. But she's one of my best friends, and we actually met at Berklee. But she writes every day. She does 1,000 demos per day, and she's a musical genius. And she always shares with me like the things she does just for feedback or just to share. Yeah, she just sent it to me, and I was like, that is such a great song. And I was like, oh my god, I love it. And she was like, you want to sing it? And okay.
I usually write what I sing, but in this case, I was like, I'll sing it as it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and I felt like I related to it. The next song, so it's produced by her, but it's not at all an Afrobeat. It's actually it's pretty dark. I would say it's quite alternative, but I'm excited to share it because
it's a song that I've been doing for a while. Actually, we did it 5 years ago, the first demo, right before COVID, just for fun. And but it was too advanced. It was too avant-garde for back then. Like, I don't think the Brazilian market would have understood it was too out of the box.
Wow, I'm intrigued. I can't wait. Okay, just like 2-3 weeks. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, there is one question that everyone is asking you if you are coming back to Ca7riel and Paco Amoroso one day. Are you going to gather? Have they called you? Are you in contact with them or producers?
I have no idea.
Would you like to collaborate with them again?
Hey, if they call me, I would be more than happy to. But no, for now, the work was just about the tiny.
All right. No, it's because I have seen many comments on social media. They are like, you two. Yeah, you and Metamami needs to go. You need to always be with them. And obviously, I understand that they are just two people and they call soldiers. Obviously, some of them are friends for years. You being with them just once. But yeah, I just want to know if you would like to come back to them one day.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever want to collaborate again, I'd be happy to. But yeah, they also have like a very tight schedule. And they're moving all around. So then I'm here and focusing on my career. But if they need me here in the US, I'm more than happy to.
Yeah.
Or in Brazil.
Sounds cool. I like that idea. Which will be the next singer or band that you would like to collaborate with? If you can pick two. It doesn't matter, Michael Jackson, whatever,
I mean, I would just say my two biggest inspirations. One of them, which is a singer called Banks. I inspire myself a lot from her music and from her production style. And this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I was a fan before The Weeknd when he had just started, so he wasn't as famous lives out. And he also influenced me a lot in earlier days. And I wish one day I'll be able to do something from whatever it is, write things, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. I think that you are calling them so badly. I mean, I think that one day you're going to be there and you're going to say, like, I told ya. Can you tell me, where are you going to be in 5 years from now?
Well, I don't know where I'm going to be, but I hope that I like to talk about these things in regards to recognition, not like fame or these things, more recognition. I just hope that my work will be recognized worldwide on a very big scale.
Amazing. You are already recognized. What you're saying.
But I mean, like a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
I suppose bigger and more individual, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. This interview is really connected with my channel because I always say that we need to embrace our authenticity. I'm Venezuelan, but I'm also British, and I was born there, and I came to the UK a long time ago. So yeah, it's quite complicated. The same happened to you, to have like different roots. So you sometimes find yourself in a space that you don't know where you are. So you are outsider everywhere. Sometimes it's quite complicated, and that's the reason why you want to present all the languages that you can speak to the industry, and that's beautiful.
Yes, I actually do have something to add to that. When I was growing up, I mean, also I grew up in an international school, so that's where I learned English. It's pretty normal to be from kind of all over in my school, but as soon as I stepped out of school, it was like I would be looked at weirdly, like, oh, you're not Swiss. And when I would go to Brazil, it's like, oh, you're not Brazilian. Okay, then that's just gonna be nothing. And later on, I realized that was my strength, and I was like, I'm not here, and like that makes me double, not half and half. Started using that as my strength because I realized that it allowed me to do so much, not only like say writing music, connecting with people. I'm talking even networking, because if you understand someone's language and you also take the time to understand the culture that's tied in the language, and not only the language in itself, like for example, like Latin America, they all speak Spanish, but every country has its own culture. So yeah, I think my school also really allowed me to learn how to connect with people's cultures and like understand how to learn about culture, what to ask in order to be fully equipped. So, because if you understand someone's culture, you understand them, and then it's easier to bond with people, especially in the world of music. That's super important. For example, in the funny way that I learned Spanish that I mentioned in the other interviews, had it not been for that, I wouldn't be able to live in Miami, because first of all, I mean, just the industry here, you have to speak that. If you really do, or you're screwed. And I would have been able to work on the Ca7riel Paco Tiny Desk, because I wouldn't be able to sing in Spanish. Not only the songs, but Argentinian Spanish also is very particular and difficult if you're not a native Spanish speaker. So just like in the rehearsals, just communicating with the artist in general.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I know you have very good friends, Venezuelan friends, like from Puerto La Cruz or something like that.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I'm from Mérida, which is the mountains. You know where it is?
Yes.
I mean, you know something.
I've heard about it a lot. Yeah.
I love it. So I'm pretty sure that you know. Which is your favorite arepa then?
Peluar.
Oh
I think.
my god.
I think.
Wow. Yeah, well, I would love to talk to you for years, but I would like to give you your time. So let's going to grab this out. Can you say a final message for the audience to tell them to follow their dreams, to work in what they have to do, to study, and to be empathic, to have empathy for the rest of the cultures that you were doing? So can you tell them something like that?
Well, first of all, study what you want to work in. I'm not saying go to school. You don't have to go to school. Not everyone wants to break public use in school. But just study your craft, be prepared enough, be kind enough to whatever you want to work in, and give it the time that it deserves so that you can serve it right. Also, this is something one of my first music teachers told me in my life when I was younger, not in college, that you're not supposed to use music and then to serve yourself of the music. You're supposed to serve the music. So you're supposed to do it justice. You're not supposed to use it for your own advantage. Be yourself, because if you're not yourself, you're going to get tired of not being yourself, and you're not going to be able to keep up that. It's just impossible to not be yourself for so long. So, and no one can be you. So your best bet is to be you, because you never know what might work and what might not work. I would rather fail being myself than fail doing something that someone told me to do and then it failed. That's why I'm really trying as hard as possible to be the most authentic version of myself.
The authentic. Yes, you are amazing. Thank you very much for bringing so much joy into my life, especially those oh my god, Bad Bitch was incredible. I mean, you know what, something really, really funny before I let you go. I won a badge on January that says that I was the 0.02% of the that was listening that on repeat from the tiny desk.
Oh, I don't know how I didn't get it. Honestly, sorry, I listened to it a lot. And not because of, I got it. Not for bitch. Why? Yeah, you got it. You won. But not because of being obnoxious or just. I sometimes when I watch it, I forget I'm in it. I don't even realize it's me in there anymore. I just watch it as the piece of art that it is, and I love it. And I'm starting to see it how other people saw it, because I saw all the backstage and the issues that happen here and there, technical issues and last minute stuff or the strand that happened backstage or the day before. So for me, when I watch it, I know everything that went behind it, and it's hard to disconnect, or I'm starting to disconnect from it and just try to see it how someone who sees it for the first time is like, wow, what is this? So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I couldn't stop. Since that first time that I listened in for a friend, I cannot stop. I have a serious problem with them.
They're really amazing. They're killing it.
Yeah, I wish I would interview them one day, but I don't know. Let's see.
One day, you never know.
Interview you. Yes.
You never know.
All right. Do you do something with your personal brand? Do you learn how to use your personal brand about marketing? What do you do about marketing? Any particular stuff you do?
I'm trying. I'm learning more, but I'm trying to also study how people are seeing me from all the cons and everything. What I read recently or what I heard recently was that you can either have a really, really strong concept or be your most authentic version, but in the sense you times 10, just exaggerate your bets, almost like a caricature, but not in the comical way, but just really exaggerate the parts that make you 100%. For example, Ca7riel Paco, they're just already as people, they're funny, and they joke between themselves, and they're just big wing chonkers, and they just have a very eccentric style. So what they did, pushed that eccentric style, physically to the next level. And they're incorporating humor in their music, because that totally has to do with who they are as people, and also trying to, Argentinians are proud people, and they're incorporating a lot of Argentinian slang in their music. So I'm still on the learning curve. I'm still learning. Yeah, about personal brand, but I try. Well, one thing I'm sticking to is my eyeliner. That a lot of girls ask me, "How did you do your eyeliner?" This and that. So then I'm always trying to to the same makeup because I feel like I'm very recognizable with the same makeup.
And thank you very much for watching these videos.
Thank you so much.
Tell me, where can we find you?
On YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Spotify, and all the streaming platforms.
Apple Music,
Which one
everything.
paid you the most?
But you know what? I don't know, but you know what? I would rather you listen to me on Spotify. It will help my number.
Go to Spotify now. I actually even downloaded the Spotify just because Ca7riel and Paco released the papota. And I opened everywhere. I opened the 3 videos because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to watch first.
Oh no, you have to watch the short film first. Did you watch you watched the short film, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
but
Of course.
I watched it the day before because they released it the day before, and the day after they released the videos
Separated.
The short film.
Yeah.
the videos, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted to watch first. I
Okay.
didn't know that it was the full video within the short. I thought that they were like the first.
How they did
Yeah.
it with the first album, like
Exactly.
visual images.
Exactly, the
Yeah,
short.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't know which one I wanted to watch first. Imposter is my favorite for way more.
Same. Same.
So I was like, I don't know which one I wanted to watch first. So I put all of them in different devices and I downloaded the Spotify. Oh no, I need to stop.
But they have it everywhere, no? On all the streaming platforms.
At the moment, yeah, they have everywhere. But I open everything. That's the point. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to help them. I'm really proud of them too. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to
Thank you so
subscribe,
much.
thumbs up, hit the notifications bell, and share this content. And see you soon. Okay, sorry. So let's go back on track. So you have at the moment 60K followers on Instagram and 32 on TikTok.
And all the skill set
I'm losing you.
that allows me to have to collaborating with different people. Well, if I hadn't learned Spanish and oh, you lost me.
Long time ago.
You lost me?
Yeah.
You lost me? Or am I back? I
Let's see.
back?
Let's see. Can you
Oh.
move yourself?
Sorry.
Are you there?
Yes. Wait,
Yeah,
I can
we're
maybe
back.
Try. Yes. Oh, we're back. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened. Sorry, what was the last thing that you heard?
I don't know. you it's-
What, the Brazilian Dua Lipa? Call me that.